Enjoy the coffee tonight, Mr. Rowe. The first time I heard that voice, I was already halfway through a box of brittle deeds and a half-dead fluorescent light. It said my name like it owned it, slow, patient, and then the line went dead. No footsteps, no one at the desk. For a second I thought my mind was playing tricks. Then I remembered the warm cup on the break room counter and the little sticker stuck to the sleeve, the one I'd never seen before. I'm Caleb Rowe. I run the overnight shift at the County Records Archive. We preserve other people's histories, property disputes, odd wills, dusty case files. It's quiet work, good for thinking. It's also boring enough that small mysteries feel enormous. For weeks, my mystery came in the form of identical late-night deliveries, a hot coffee and a turkey sandwich left in the break room after midnight. No note, no one on camera, only that peculiar sticker with an unreadable logo. After the phone call and the note on my doorstep, 3 blunt words. You have 3 days. The deliveries stopped being cute. They were a breadcrumb trail. The envelope's paper felt like something from a ledger. The handwriting was neat, deliberate. Someone wanted my attention. I did what I've done 1,000 times. I cataloged. Only this time I cataloged for investigation. The address the caller read on the line, a narrow lane on the edge of town, matched an old parcel in our maps. I cross-referenced it, pulled the 1979 dispute file, and there it was. A faded case about a demolished house, a contested title, and a name that kept showing up in the margins. The same name appeared in marginalia scrawled across the spine of an 1892 ledger I was halfway through digitizing. The handwriting on my doorstep suddenly had a pattern. I flipped through the ledger until the scanner hummed and the shelves around me seemed to inhale. The ledger had a cramped note in the same tiny pen strokes as the envelope. A name, a date, 3 initials that didn't belong. I ran my finger along the edge of the page. A scrap of sticky tape, the same material as the sticker on the coffee sleeve, clung to the margin. Someone was leaving identifiers, like an obsessive archivist leaving tags. I didn't want to be helpless, so I acted. I pulled the break room's motion logs, begged the facilities manager for access to the building's older CCTV backups, and snooped through delivery app records tied to the sticker. The manager, Ben, was useful in the old guard way, grumpy but loyal. He fished an ancient USB from a drawer and handed over footage that had been corrupted last month. A lot of things in archives get called corrupted. I watched anyway. The footage showed nothing at first. Empty hallways, the slow sweep of the night cleaner's cart. Then, at 1:12 in the morning, the camera by the service door flared. There was a shadow that moved like someone wearing a coat with the hood down. Then nothing. The timestamp flickered. The logo on the coffee sleeve was visible for 1 frame when a hand set the cup down. I froze the frame, blew it up, and there, partially obscured, was a patch on the wrist of the glove, the same stylized emblem from the sticker. It wasn't a delivery company. It was a preservation vendor we'd used during a recent digitization contract, a small outfit that handled fragile paper restorations. I'd signed their work orders 3 months ago. I thought maybe someone at the vendor was playing a cruel joke. But then I checked personnel requests and found an old work order with that very emblem, assigned to an employee named Arthur Vale. Vale's name popped up in a few files: former staff, let go under vague circumstances, later replaced. A lot of people in county records remember names the way they remember staples: used, bent, lost. I ran Arthur's name through our internal notes and hit something ugly. There was a sealed file, marked privileged, legal hold, that referenced an eviction and an accusation filed by someone whose name matched the marginalia in the ledger. The file was missing from the cabinet. Someone had pulled it, maybe during that chaotic digitization scramble months ago. If that file resurfaced, one person's life might unravel, or be redeemed. I had a guess now about what the demand meant: control the file, pay to keep it hidden. The rock through my apartment window was the turning point. It shattered a silence I could no longer call peace. Police came, took a report, promised to check the street, and left me with the same mix of dread and paperwork I knew intimately. But the footage, the sticker, the missing file, those were mine to piece together. The police had protocols. I had the stacks. On the third night, I went back in when the building emptied and the city breathed slow. I switched off the scanners that hummed like insects and pulled the ladder deeper into the stacks, where the air smells of glue and old ink. I moved like a man on a mission, not a man fleeing. A stubborn part of me believed that if I understood the record, I could contain the threat. If there was a file someone wanted, I would find it before they had to come back. The archive is a maze designed to hide things in plain sight. Shelves climb like canyon walls. The emergency lights give everything a merciless wash. Halfway down row G, behind boxes labeled surveyor's plats, I found a thin manila folder shoved back where no one would reach without intent. No barcode, no accession stamp. The handwriting on the tab was the same cramped script as the envelope. I slid the folder free and felt my heart ping like a rotor. Inside was a stack of photocopies, old deeds, a photocopied photograph, someone's life in monochrome. At the bottom of the pile was a single cribbed note, typed and folded, with a phrase that stopped my breath. Return to sender, do not disclose. Someone had hidden the file, then removed it. Someone had a grudge, and the grudge had teeth. I didn't find Arthur in the stacks, but I found evidence he had been here recently. A gutter of wet footprints, a cigarette butt crushed in the corner, a matchbook from the vendor with his name on the receipt. And on the desk where I'd left a cup once, someone had placed another cup and a new note. You looked. That voice, patient and close. The emergency lights buzzed. The building seemed suddenly full of faraway steps. The confrontation never came as a shout. It was a choice. Take the file to the police, risk what it contained becoming public, or hand it over and buy silence I couldn't afford. I copied everything to an encrypted drive, logged the metadata, and left a meticulous trail for the detectives. In the morning, the file would exist in two places, mine and theirs. That was the best leverage I could give myself. The immediate danger ebbed. The rock stopped. No more cups appeared. The calls ceased. The police found traces, a credit card trail to a burner account, a temporary van rental. But Arthur Vale's name is still a rumor in some corners, a used tag in others. They questioned him. He denied. There were holes. The county wanted finality. The person who felt wronged wanted blood. I gave them proof, not the satisfaction of ruining a life. Maybe that was cowardice. Maybe it was reason. Some nights I still hear the scanners whisper in my sleep. I walk past the break room counter and imagine a hand leaving a cup. The ledger sits filed now under accession, its pages scanned and time-stamped. I come back to the archive because I trust the records, and because I also know how dangerous silence can be. I don't know if Arthur is out there, or if the man who terrorized me will come back. I only know that the shelf holds more secrets than one life can settle. I cataloged one of them. For now, the lights stay on. Would you dig through a stack of someone else's past to protect your future? Have you ever discovered a small detail that turned out to be everything?